Alright, I wanted to do a quick video and kind of piggyback on the changes to Panic and the video that I made and talk about the Bard of War armor. I think the changes to Panic and even capping the Panic Eat with phase actually, with certain setups, actually is more powerful. It's creating a very strong defense as well as near infinite resource loops to the point that you can actually be in unoptimal armor setups. Like you could be in the Wind Bard of War versus maybe an Earth monster, and they're still not going to be doing too much to you. Even in some cases, even some boss monsters. I think the one and only type of monster that you might struggle against would be like a boss that has an extra high boss boost, like maybe plus 40, that's also a charisma monster. Since a lot of what Bard of War is doing is charisma saves. So a lot of panics are charisma saves as well. But I wanted to show off exactly what I'm talking about. But part of the idea here is the traditional gameplay. If you had a defensive armor, now granted, you're losing defense when you toggle these on, but you're not gaining offense. So therefore, the traditional idea is to use 100 proc bows and wands and stuff like that. But with this setup, you can actually completely forego that kind of thing for weapons that have either effects or even skills. So just to show some ideas here, and there's other options, but you have the Royal Void Charge, which will eat up to 400% panic. It's a clickable skill for a pretty large damage. In this instance, it's just a standard weapon, but you can click for the effect. You got the Blind clickable skill, you have the Fear clickable skill, then you have the Darkness and light versions of these Blade of Elders that are the heal poisons. Of course, you have your Fear Eat. There's some other weapons, the Cephalolas, the Blade of the Briar. There's some others that I'm probably not thinking of. But you can pretty much just always have enough SP for these skills. You can even outfit these things with quick casts if you want to. Like if I wanted to just do this, that would be a huge help. So what I'm going to do here, it depends on the monster, but a lot of times what I'll do is I will start off with, not always, it just depends. So like I don't have to here because Darkness is high enough to the point where Phase is going to have enough melee percent to eat. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll either start off with Jania's Orb of Power or Seeing Red, just to give the panic amount a head start for the defense. You're basically going to always use this shield here, Eternal Champion's Defiance, for the panic potence. And so basically what you're doing is you're going to start off here. So you're going to get your inflict here using Optical Misc and the shield. You get basically 30 panic potence. So one thing I'm going to show off here is that panic there. You have those two lines that it's showing to be 0.678. I don't know, but I don't think that it's including the mana overload from Jania's Orb of Power. So your defense is actually going to be significantly better than what's shown there. I think that this system is not including when you have special renamed panics. That stuff is listed separately there. But basically, at this point, you can just click your skill. Okay, in this case it missed both times. But most of the time Bard of War is going to go twice. And as you can see, so I'm back to near full MP. It's going to go again. So this time I had my MP Lucky Strike twice. So you're basically having access to, you can alternate between MP and SP. Bard of War's, this setup's going to be more powerful with a mage variant because of the extra resource. So there was 141 and 99 damage there. So now we're going to start, you can, like with this particular weapon, you're going to get to the point where you can stun lock. So for questing, you're going to be able to do whatever you want without any fear of dying. And then even when you get to a boss, so now I'm at 95% afraid, and then plus we have basically half damage. So in this instance, the water monster, if it did attack, my water resistance is 80. It's going to be hitting me more like I'm 40%, which I can accept in this point. But you can, at this point, you could probably switch to an offensive armor if you needed to, because of the stun locked afraid is so high. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. Maybe I'll just want to just heal up that little bit of MP. It's going to end up dying first here. I mean, heal up that little bit of HP. I'm sorry. And so, basically, the panic system has made the Creature 72, and you don't even have to use Creature 72. It's more of a buffer. Like if I wanted just to cast a couple of these guys, so maybe I wanted to go this route, and let's see, let's get a want to do a chi shield. So maybe instead of using Creature 72, instead I'm just going to cast this a couple times, and it should drive panic down pretty low. You got 2 instances here. It's not going to give you that total calculation like before. So got that chi shield, and then phase is going to go twice. Eat your panic, and I'm basically nearly full MP and SP. 0 damage because of the chi shield that went twice. I still have a shit ton of panic. So I'm basically casting spells with effects. It's not quite going to be 200% melee, damage, but if I'm getting this damage down low enough, and I have barriers, now I have a 627 chi shield. It's going to be pretty much 0 damage. That's another route you could take. You could also do things like I really like doing stuff like Mandate or even 74th Law. That choke stacking with this panic will drive defense down even lower. It's just going to be 0 damage. These monsters are not going to get through your defense. There's no way. The same shield with the choke panic, the choke potence along with Optico. So you basically in this setup have both 30 choke potence and 30 panic potence. So if you're able to just really drive both of those, your monsters aren't going to be doing shit to you. Again, with all this panic here, phase is eating 80% melee, so it's basically full attempts at heals. This Cutlass Del Mar, now I've got up to 103 blind, so having this much blind means that all these chokes and panics for defense is kind of pointless, because now I'm going to be blocking. If you wanted to, you could change to Dodge Lash. Alright, so this monster's not easy, right? It's going to hit me 1464. That's Might not be able to. Shadow Feeder can sometimes be a bitch against this much stats, so I was a little bit concerned. But like I said, you can just try to do stuff like this. Obviously, missed everything here. All right, so now we've got choke at 445, and then we've got panic down at 41. It's going to go up a little bit. This monster has such high damage, it still might do kind of a lot here. All right. Some more choke. Now it's 0.75, so this monster is no longer going to be doing any kind of damage to me. And I'm just now at this point, I'm just replenishing stuff. I can just keep casting this. Blind's not landing, but the choke sure is, so I'm basically able to do what I want at this point, because the damage from the monster is just not going to do anything. And what's cool about this armor is with this replenishment of SP, alright, let's switch over to this one. Let's see what kind of heals we get. So I've got both the light and darkness based heals, replenishing my SP pretty well. And then maybe I want to just go this route now for effects. You can use like the phase weapon or the new nightmare weapon for more panic if you want. So at this point, I'm just keeping defense down. I mean, even panic is down to 10% on top of the 10% choke that's here. So I was just demonstrating, after having such low hit points, I was able to stack some chokes and panics to the point where, and then add some heals with some of this stuff and not even worry about it. And this comes in handy, so with harder monsters, wanted to demonstrate against this guy here. So we have a monster that's got damage caps, and then it has freedom, and then it's going to get a boss boost after its first turn. But I wanted to demonstrate an idea. If you're worried about your defense at all, so I've got the light version of, but I'm not using a light shield. I've got the light version of Bar to Worst. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spam Mandate. So I may get some blinds in there, but I'm mostly looking at driving choke down. So now we have 61% damage just on the choke. And then we're in the 60s, probably end up in the 70s maybe. We'll see what happens. So they only did 44 damage there, and I'm still have a lot of SP, so I'm going to cast Mandate 2 more times. We will see if Phase replenishes my MP pretty well. So now I've got choked at 35%. So I'll be able to cast Mandate 1 more time at least. Alright, so water's my weakest element, and that's a nuke for that monster, and it really didn't do too much to me. So now that I've got defense down low enough, I can start doing some other things, like trying to inflict some healing. Now this playstyle can be a little tedious, especially versus damage caps. But you can sort of turtle through and beat a lot of monsters this way. Help with my accuracy a little bit. And then even the Bard of War itself has a pretty strong skill. It's going to be mitigated with the damage cap here. But as you can see, 600 damage to 700 damage is not too shabby. And then here we have the ability to cast it again. And the neat thing about all these panics is phase cannot, even going twice, cannot catch up to eat all the panic, because you have this such high inflictions. And even against this monster that has a boss boost of 30, you're able to actually has a plus 20 there, so you're able to inflict and then inflict and inflict. So I'm basically back to full MP, so I can just start doing some chokes and stuff again. Probably have full SP now. So again, just have high defense. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could just do Zfinity Power and then Runic Binding every turn, and you're probably going to be able to maintain enough MP. Like I'm already back at a level there that's respectable. You can just build your Elevons here. And then again, if you just wanted to go this route again, once you're back to full resources, you can just reapply this stuff, just restack it. I think I'm burning right now. I probably could have just healed myself. We'll see what happens. I have up to 6 guest turns. I guess with these celerities, they're stacking with what you're doing there. Alright, so let's go this route. Alright, so we've got, let's see, did those land? There's maybe too many there. I don't know if it landed. We'll see if I can end up healing here. Yeah, a little bit. So this is the first time I wasn't able to actually heal back enough SP since the beginning of the fight to do anything. That's fine. I'll just see if I can go ahead and win it real quick. Let's see what we manage here. Alrighty. So again, basically a boss monster that attacking with mostly light with a random element nuke. And I'm not really thinking about the fight too much. I'm just kind of showcasing the different ideas. Kind of got me down a little bit low on hit points, but that's fine. I could have been more precautious, but as you can see, there's a lot of opportunity there to just play defense and then just heal back your resources, and never run out of panic. Even versus that boss, I never had issues with panic. Going away with the shield and the optical misc, which is also fueling more resources. So the synergy that's available now with everything is extremely powerful. You can do kind of the same things with the new Infernal set. You'll have enough SP most of the time to just fuel all the poison inflictions and the celerities with your guests and pets. But that's everything in a nutshell. There you have it.